20 distinct chicks, and he likewise referenced that you realize it was a point that he needed to make Halle one of his chicks. He needed Halle to be one of his young ladies. So they party was the last second when you said you were no longer going to be seeing someone you were attempting to satisfy her. Definitely come assist us with again satisfying. I'm actually managing silliness, no doubt cause she could go, and just conveyed the majority of my life, the feeling of bombing each lady I cooperate with. Will Smith once uncovered in his diary that he thought Halle was fine-looking, and he had a pound to the point he would have jumped at the chance to date her, even while he was as yet hitched to Jada Pinkett Smith. And I can't envision how furious and irritated she probably been. Will Smith had uncovered that he once told his mentor he needed a group of concubines of 25 ladies. When she asked what might satisfy him, Will Smith was hitched to his significant other, Jada Pinkett Smith. At that point, yet was looking for help after the couple's marriage panelist. Down we concur that she needed to satisfy herself. I needed to fulfill myself. He wrote in his journal while saying he told mentor Michaela Bain that he would have a collection of mistresses. Michaela urged her client to toss in names in with the general mishmash, to which Will recommended Halle and ballet performer Hazy Copeland. Will guaranteed that with the mentor's assistance he concocted 25 dynamic and capable ladies from across the globe. He said he was so energized by his desired plan to contact the lady the next day, yet upon reflection, he understood the thought was conceived out of the breakdown of his marriage. Will composed that he let his mentor know that he felt on the off chance that he had an adequate number of ladies, he'd continuously have the option to find no less than one of them who enjoyed him. As the arrangement to reach them started to shape, Smith acknowledged how ridiculous the thought was. He said, in the event that I can't sort out some way to support and sustain one unprecedented lady, what the compelled me figure I could really focus on 25. I don't have the foggiest idea where I saw it or some as a teen, yet going with 20 ladies that I cherished and dealt with. And all of that, it appeared as though a truly good thought Smith made sense of in the meeting. And afterward, after we played it out a tad, I resembled that would be terrible, that would be horrendous. I resembled, might you at any point envision how hopeless in his diary, Will composed that the reason for his need for a collection of mistresses of ladies was a psychedelic medication called ayahuasca, which he said he required multiple times in a 2-year duration. The ayahuasca drugs hail from South America and is ready in a tea that causes changed condition of cognizance, including visual pipe dreams and modified view of reality. Will depicted that the medication acquainted him with an unseeable lady, who he later called mother. He likewise said that the medication assisted him with understanding that on the off chance that I'm this delightful, I don't require #1 films to feel far better about myself. In the event that I'm this wonderful, I don't require hit records to feel deserving of affection. In the event that I'm this lovely, I needn't bother with Jada or any other person to approve me. He conceded he found happiness in the wake of taking the medication, and said it assisted him with going through a detoxing cycle. Talking in a meeting with Oprah Winfrey, Will expressed it's tied in with having the option to find that satisfaction inside yourself, not with outside boosts. In the end, Smith made sense of how mentor Michaela Pillar truly assisted him with seeing that having considerations about different ladies while wedded was typical. He guaranteed that his mentor was basically wiping out his brain, telling it was to act naturally and be what his identity was. Will kept saying it was to think Halle is fine. It doesn't make me a terrible individual that I'm hitched. And I think Halle is delightful, though in my brain, in my Christian childhood, even my contemplations were sins. That was actually the cycle that Michaela worked me through, to allow me to understand that my contemplations were not sins. And surprisingly, following up on an unclean idea didn't make me a piece of sup. In another meeting, Smith shared insights concerning his 23-year union with Pinkett Smith and their renowned ensnarement. show the entertainer focused on her entrapment with vocalist August Alsina in July 2020, and later welcomed her significant other to her Facebook Watch series, Red Casual Conversation, to eliminate any confusion about the circumstance that specific episode proceeded to break Facebook viewership record. Despite the fact that Smith said the general population didn't get the full story, as gives Wesley Lowery noted in the profile on the grounds that the catalyst for the Red Casual Conversation was Alsina's revelations, a watcher might have left feeling that Jada was the only one taking part in other sexual connections. Smith carefully cleared up for GQ, as a matter of fact, the case, which means Will himself had likewise participated in other sexual connections. While still along with his significant other, Will didn't say a lot concerning their marriage, yet expounded on it in his journal, where he discussed a dangerous battle he and his better half had after her 40th birthday festivity. He guaranteed their marriage was not working at that point, and they were both hopeless picking to quit professing to track down answers for refocused Smith, who is celebrating 24 years of marriage with Pinkett Smith, told GQ that Jada never had confidence in customary marriage. He asserted that Jada had relatives that had a whimsical connections, so she experienced childhood in a manner that was altogether different than how he grew up. Will likewise guarantee that in their relationship, there were critical, vast conversations about what was social flawlessness, what was the ideal method for cooperating as a team, and for a huge piece of their relationship, monogamy was what they picked, not considering it the main social flawlessness. He proceeded with, "We have given each other trust and opportunity, with a conviction that everyone needs to figure things out in marriage. For us, can't be a jail," he guaranteed. He wasn't recommending their lifestyle to anyone, yet asserted the encounters, the opportunities that they've given each other, and the unrestricted help were the best quality of adoration to him. His journal came a while after his better half, Jada Pinkett Smith, stating life stood out as truly newsworthy when rapper August Alsina added himself into the account in the midst of the entertainer's long-term union with Will. Smith Alsina was the person who guaranteed that he had recently been sincerely associated with Pinkett Smith, and that her better half gave his approval. He said he completely gave himself to that relationship for a really long time of his life, and that he genuinely and extremely profoundly adored her. He said, "I dedicated myself to it. I gave my full self to it." Alsina noticed that he had, in a real sense, never been enamored before his association with Jada, yet Jada squashed that when she at first denied his charges. Pinkett Smith later uncovered that she was isolated from Will when the trap occurred. She said on the Red Casual Conversation, "We were over from that point. As time went on, I got into an alternate sort of entrapment with August." Will Smith, who joined his better half on the television show, reviewed the couple's choice to head out in different directions in the midst of promising and less promising times in their marriage. They concluded they planned to isolate for a while. Each had a go at searching for what fulfilled them at the time. A source only let us know week after week that tending to their past united the pair, and that dealing with their concerns assisted them with seeing each other more. The insider said Will and Jada, by the day's end, resemble a typical couple who incidentally turned out to be celebrated on the grounds that they're popular, they have battled, they have accommodated. The insider gone on, by the day's end, they in all actuality do cherish each other. In Walk 2022, Smith shut down hypothesis that there was bamboozling in his relationship, guaranteeing there had never been any kind of treachery in their marriage. Will chatted with CBS Sunday Early Daytime, asserting that the two of them discussed everything with one another, and that they have never surprised each other with anything this intense, that while Jada was in her ensnarement, she ensured her significant other had some awareness of it, and when he was considering having a group of concubines of ladies with Halle, included Jada. Additionally realized about that, Will likewise focused on grappling with his marriage being a subject of discussion. "I have concluded that gab about my life."